Sports colleague trying to win his third 500. Greg Biffle took fuel only on that stop. He's our leader in the 3M4. Dale Earnhardt Jr. The National Guard Chevy alongside as they get the green flag. 47 laps to go.
And I think Michael nailed it. I mean, the gloves are off. This is going to be a fight to the end now. I mean, these guys. There's weather. We know that. The race is coming down to the end here. This is when it gets real serious.
It's entirely likely the next flag could end this race. How big a gamble, Larry, not taking tires for Biffle?
I don't think it's a gamble because we've seen racing at night, as Jimmy Finning told Carl Edwards, tires are not wearing. Tires are not making a difference. We want to stay up front out of the eye of the storm.
Remember, in the Unlimited, they ran 60 laps and never changed tires. And so I don't think you have to worry about the tires. I think they're pretty good.
Tires versus track position. Both of Tommy Baldwin's cars in the top 10. He got a top 10 finish last year here. Reed Sorensen and Mike Lynette, 9th and 10th. But boy, they've got work to do. Biffle, Earnhardt, Johnson, Edwards, Keselowski, the front five.
Yeah, Mike Lynette, Reed Sorensen, they're side by side. You see them back there on the 5th row, just in front of Kyle Busch in that 18.
Well, we see that 4 car, and he must have some damage from that wreck because saw quite a bit of sparks coming out from the side of that car. Looked like it from the back. Jeff Gordon, we haven't talked about him much for a while. Oh, and man, look at Kurt Busch in a 41 car. That quarter panel, that fender brace is definitely creating a parachute on the right side of his car.
Larry mentioned Kyle Busch. He got the free pass on that caution flag for that 12-car pileup. That put him back on the lead lap and right into the thick of things.
Yeah, he's up in the top 10 already, and he just got the free pass. I think that just goes to show you what a great race car he has.
And what an interesting paint job he has on his car. 1 in 100. You know what that means? 1 peanut out of 100 makes it into an M&M. Now, I had to find out from Kyle what it meant because I knew it meant something, and he told me that.
He's on the inside next to his brother as Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Greg Biffle continue to battle for the lead.
See those two Joe Gibbs drivers right there side by side. Matt Kenseth in the 20 on the bottom, Denny Hamlin in the 11 up top. They had made their way back in the pack. Now here they come back toward the front.
I'll tell you what, though, that 88 car is pretty impressive. He's been able to hang up there in the front. Jimmy Johnson looks like he's going to try to get up here and go with Biffle maybe, but even still, Junior's hanging right there, man.
This is a contract year for Greg Biffle with Roush Fenway Racing. Other teams have kind of sniffed a little interest, and wouldn't his stock go up if he could win this 500? Steve.
Mike, interesting note on that 16 car. Crew Chief Matt Pusha told me this morning they built 2 brand new super speedway cars with the hopes of running here in Daytona, but the car Greg's in now actually ran last year. It was just had better numbers in the wind tunnel, and it just had more speed. So a tried and true race car for Greg Biffle.
Greg Biffle is between a rock and a hard place right now because he's got 2 fast drivers, and he just keeps going back and forth, blocking Jimmy Johnson and Dale Earnhardt Jr. There he goes to the bottom to block Earnhardt.
And, of course, that messes up the draft off his car, which, you know, it'll help Junior a little bit, and then he'll go over and help Jimmy Johnson at 48 a little bit. In the meantime, Junior's trying to side draft. Watch him get over next to the 48, get a little pull there. Here's Carl Edwards. Carl would like to get up in the mix in the 99, and there's Brad Keselowski. So, bunch of Fords up here ganging up on the Chevys right now.
Back behind them, a whole bunch running 3 wide. 43 laps to go in the Daytona 500 after a 6.5-hour rain delay. Since then, we've had just 1 caution flag, but it was a big one, a 12-car pileup. Here's your Ram race summary. Greg Biffle, the first of 27 cars on the lead lap. He's one of 19 race leaders, 36 lead changes, just 3 caution flags.
Well, Biffle, you know,
glory, Ram.
Yeah, Biffle bragged on his car. Remember qualifying? He was so excited, and he said, man, we finally got speed back in our cars. He's been happy all week with the thing. And here he is, man, out front when it counts.
He's up front, but Darrell, he's looked like 3-lane Wayne up there. Up to the bottom, down to the bottom, up to the top, right up the middle. And now Dale Earnhardt Jr. pulls right alongside.
Yeah, he wasn't able to get to the bottom quick enough that time because that 88 of Dale Earnhardt Jr. was right there with his teammate, Biffle's teammate, Carl Edwards in the 99 right behind him.
Yeah, Larry, I'm convinced that the last 100 miles or so, that 88 car has been the best car. He's been able to run up front. He's been able to get out front. And right now, he's alongside of Biffle. Edwards there behind him gives him a little shot. They probably will be able to clear Biffle and take the lead. That is some tight drafting right there amongst that front 10 or 15. Look how tight they are. 2 by 2, just all over each other. And back behind them, here's some 3 wide racing going on.
There just isn't room on Noah's Ark for all this. 3 by 3.
You know, if you're up front, you're just hoping nothing happens. If you're back in the back, you're trying to make something happen. You want something to happen.
40 laps to go, 100 miles left in the Daytona 500. Let's go back to the garage and Krista.
Danica Patrick has walked out of the care center. Danica, was that the hardest hit you've ever taken, and how do you feel right now?
I don't know. It feels like they're all pretty hard, unfortunately. I think more than anything, I'm just upset that the GoDaddy car felt really good. It was the best car I'd had all speed weeks, and seemed like we could catch whoever, and seemed like we could move around and make lanes, help lanes out, and move around and move forward at the end of the day. And so I felt like everything was going pretty well. So it's just upsetting, you know. I think that it's a sort of culmination of sitting around all day, and you know, so it's a bummer, but it's, you know, that's kind of the excitement of speedway racing, is that anything can happen. And it was unfortunate that I was on the short end of the accident, but that's the kind of thing that happens. And you know, I appreciate everyone sticking around and watching, and we'll go get them at Phoenix.
Glad you're okay. Thanks, Danica.
Thanks, Krista. Dale Earnhardt.
Whoa, here we go.
Big crash again. Turn 4 is Calamity Corner. There's rookie Reed Sorensen sliding down off the banking. Big damage to the Ford of Marcus Ambrose, number 9. And caution waves with 38 laps to go.
Marcus Ambrose with a bunch of damage there. The 7 car. Something seemed, somebody broke loose in the pack. I couldn't tell if there was contact.
Rookie Michael Annett, heavy damage on his pilot Chevy. Marcus Ambrose. And let's have a look. Watch the 3 of our pole sitter Austin Dillon. Under caution in the Daytona 500. Welcome back to the Daytona 500 under the caution flag for a 7-car pileup at turn number 4. Let's take you back to the lap before the crash and look at the number 3 of our pole sitter Austin Dillon.
All right, Austin Dillon in the middle here, 3 wide, you know, and he's caught in the middle. Now watch this thing. She gets real loose with him right there, and he has to catch it. He did a great job of saving the car, but either there was something going on with the tires or the car just got violently loose. Now we head on down to turn 3. And once again, watch the back of the 3 car. The car starts to get loose like you saw before. He chases it up the hill. 42 was maybe inching down a little bit. Kyle Larson in the 42, and they came together, and that's what caused that wreck.
Just nowhere from Michael Annett in the 7, Casey Kane in the 5. It's nowhere for him to go.
I think there was something going on with that 3 car, because off of 2 down there, it got sideways. He goes into 3, it starts to get sideways. He washes up into Kyle Larson in the 42, and then from there on, it was on. I think Kyle Larson was coming down the hill a little bit. The 3 car got a little loose, started up the hill a little bit, and they made contact.
And toward the back, add to the cars damaged, Bobby Labonte, Ryan Newman, and Brian Scott. Had a bit of collateral damage from this one. Caution with 36 laps to go as Austin Dillon makes contact with Kyle Larson. The circuit's 2 most heralded rookies of the season get together in turn 4.